I'm always asked, how do you get that red carpet look, that glowy skin, that super polished look? And there is a way to highlighting and contouring the face. Now I'm going to do an exaggeration of it so you can see exactly where to put it. You want to take and put natural shade of foundation on first. Turn a little bit for me this way. There we go. Then you're going to need to highlight. Highlighting is always, so you want the center of the forehead. So center of the forehead, I like to go down the center of the nose. Look up for me. Then you're going to do underneath the eye, on top of the cheekbone. It's almost in a slight bit of a triangular shape underneath the eye. And the reason you put the natural shade on first is it helps everything blend together easier. Because then when you go back to blend this, and keep in mind, I'm over exaggerating this for you so you can really see where this goes. Okay, so you can see where I've highlighted. Center of the forehead, down the center of the nose, the chin, underneath the eye, in kind of like a triangular shape. Then I'm going to show you what I would contour. Once again, over exaggerating it. Let me do down the sides of your nose. Let me try with just my finger. Oh, I'm sorry, Zach. What I've done is I've over-exaggerated what you highlight and contour. We highlight forehead, down the center of the nose, underneath the eye on top of the cheekbone, tip of the chin, contour the cheekbone area up into the temple. You can also bring it down onto the jawline, and then along each side of the nose. Also, keep in mind that when you're shaping your eye, your midtone's gonna go in here and down through here, and that creates kind of like the shape to the bridge of the nose as well. Okay, so now you can see as you're watching me blend out, I've blended out. I blended and blended and blended and blended because I over-exaggerated for you. So, but you can see how it gives her face shape, and that's what you're trying to create with this highlighting and contouring technique for the red carpet, because I know all of you live your life like you're on a red carpet. Marisol does, with her 2 kids. Now I'm going to reinforce it a bit with powder. I'm going to take, now this is a highlight powder with no shimmer. It has absolutely no shimmer to it at all, but it is translucent at the same time. I know that I tell you that most times translucent powder is not translucent. It will leave a bit of a lightness to it or ashiness. In this case, where we're putting it, I want that lightness, so it does work. So we're simply going to go and put it where we want that highlight to be. And once again, I'm going to exaggerate it a little bit, just so you can really see where that highlight is. Just keep in mind, you could stop at just using foundation to do it with. But if you go back and you reinforce it with your powders, it will just give you more of a glow. So you can see where I've put that highlight powder. Now I'm going to blend that out so you can, after you've seen where it is, just going to take my normal shade brush, just blend that out. Now keep in mind on the nose, the width that you highlight it is the width that will appear. Marisol's, I'm not really trying to narrow her nose, I'm just trying to give it shape. So I wasn't worried about doing a really skinny line, but if you wanted to really narrow your nose because it is your issue and it's your own issue and you want it to be narrow and skinny, get a nose job. No, I'm just kidding. You can do it as narrow as you want. Now, I'm gonna go back and reinforce the contour with bronzer. Now it must be matte because it has shimmer to it. It will not contour. And I'm just gonna go back where I had that darker shade of foundation and reinforce it to give me more shape. And then I'm gonna take my bronzer, and just a number 11 brush, and I'm gonna reinforce that contour along the nose. Like I said, for me, most times, the contouring along the nose is just to give it shape, not to really narrow it. I always like to bring a little bit of bronzer up into the brow. And you can see how with nothing else on, her face has shape to it. And that's what you're trying to do. And by adding shape, it gives it kind of a glowing effect. When we're finished, I could go back and I can add a little bit of shimmer on the top of the cheekbone, basically my highlight area, center of the forehead, stuff like that. Then I'm gonna take cream eyeshadow, brush number 22, put it on the lid. Now, one of the things I'm going to do differently here is I'm going to use a darker brow highlighter than I do lid highlighter. So now I'm going to take and put a beige powder over that cream. Remember, if you tap it on, you get more coverage. By doing a darker brow highlight than lid, it's gonna make the lid look glowier. I kind of call this a sparkling eye effect. And the only thing that's gonna have shimmer to it is going to be her highlight shade on her lid. To give you an example, I use this on her lid, I'm gonna use this on her brows. So that really shows you how different the shades are. And remember, the more flesh toned a brow color is, highlight color is, the less dramatic it is. You can see how much more dramatic that highlight on the lid is than on the brow bone. Using my brush number 11, I'm going to pick up on my brush some matte mid-tone and apply it in her crease. Now I'm going to leave it pretty dramatic so you can see where I'm putting it. Now, using my brush number 28, which is clean, fluffy brush, I'm going to blend that matte mid-tone up and out because I want to deepen the brow bone as well as blend it out. I don't want to deepen the lid. Using my brush number 30, I'm going to grab some more matte mid-tone and apply it in the outer corner of the lid. Because it's going to take me all day to do it. No, I'm just kidding. Now, notice I'm patting on where I want the color. Fluffy number 28. Blending it out. Now, I could use powder underneath the eye, or I could use a shadow shield. I'm going to use a shadow shield to catch that dark color I'm about to use. And now Marisol feels like a freak.
First time today.
You felt like a freak today before this? Mm-hmm. Okay, look down for me. Open and look down. Now, I'm going to push some dark black shadow into her lash line to start to thicken that lash line and help start my definition. Now I'm going to take my brush number 30, take my matte contour shade, applying it in the outer corner, tapping on where I want the depth. Taking my fluffy number 28 and blending it out. I forgot how much I like that color. Open Dang, I like that color. You can see I'm patting it on and then blending it out. I've done all my dark shadows, so I'm just going to remove the shadow shields. This protected her foundation from getting all that dark color on there. As you can see, it caught it. Look up. Taking some mid-tone in my brush number 13. Contour. I'm going to highlight using my brush number 14. Open, look up. It's really important on this shimmery eye look to really wrap that highlight around the inside corner of the eye. Look at me. And we're going to do some mascara along the lower lash line. And my contour. Now I'm taking a little bit of powder blush, giving her a flushed cheek, add to that glow. Smile. Now I think with this look, the lip should be non-existent. So I'm going to just do a really pretty nude lip. Remember, the secret to a nude lip is concealing away the natural lip first so that nothing can interfere. I'm going to take my nice nude taupe lip liner. Filling in towards the center of the mouth. take me some. It's a great shade. Then I'm going to take a little bit of a nude lip gloss. There you have